Welcome back to Safas Unscripted, back again with another in-person podcast. We've got a guest once again, Vessel, making his appearance. Robin, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Let's get a cheers going first, because in
Jorts.
the last episode we were drinking before we even cheers. So I learned a new word as well, chorts.
Yeah.
Never heard that word before. I normally just say cheers, but maybe that's a Southie in me. Also, we are in the studio. This is not a green screen. I can go light a fire there right now. The picture quality is just very good, so it may appear to be like a green screen in the background. However, we're here with another episode. Devon traveled.
Disclaimer. We literally sat here for about 2 minutes now, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, discussing what are we going to chat about. Because we set up everything perfectly nice, and it was like, we don't even have topics. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about how we got into the love of rugby, and then kind of see where that ends up, right? So if you're just fans like us, and you just want to talk a bit of rugby, well, talk a bit of shit when it comes to rugby. That's basically what we do. So please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys joining us on this journey. Robin, tell us. I know
you got to tell me something first, because this is the 3rd week in a row. Devon has travelled all the way from Brackenfell to Melkbosstrand.
Yeah.
What is it about Melkbosstrand that you like so much, bro?
The people.
Okay.
Now, of course, you're close to the beach, right? Like, if I had to choose where I would live, it wouldn't necessarily be Blouberg, right? Because Blouberg's fantastic. But I don't want to get used to the beach. It's still like 5 minutes from the beach. Just like the people, the vibe, the weather. Obviously, you're right at the electricity place. So when the power goes down, you can go and move them. Just tell them, fix the fuck up. Because it's not acceptable in this country. So yeah, I don't know. It's very different to your normal suburbs and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a bit spenny.
Any other places on the west coast that you enjoy? Langebaan?
Oh yeah, every December, there's nothing better than a little Port Owen. Well, to be fair, I like Hermanus as well.
Hermanus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the
good.
usuals.
That's also good.
Maybe even Stilby.
Yeah, I've been to Stilby. In December, Stilby is a vibe.
Yeah, I want to do a St. Francis one.
But I've seen that.
Dude,
it's
it's so
like
far.
a lake, or what do they call that, where they all go down?
I don't know.
the
It's like a Riviera. I don't know.
It looks really interesting, but too many lighties for me.
I wouldn't
It's like
know,
a
bro.
young-
I've only seen that. It looks pretty nice. But then it's also a spenny place. I'm not a fan of going like too far. I know Langebos's like hour and a half. There you go. But my car drives sport mode, even though it shouldn't. So you get there in like an hour.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's just start this off. So, you guys know myself and Devon met over social media, TikTok and stuff like that. But we actually haven't dove into our love for rugby and why we are such passionate supporters of the Springboks. So, if you want to just give us a little rundown of how you sort of got in the mix with this crazy, South African team and the vibe and the fans and everything. Why?
Well, So the first remembrance that I have, or first memory that I have of like rugby, is us winning the 2007 World Cup. I mean, I was 7 years old then, right? So you don't remember too many days during that age. And then kind of my dad's like a massive rugby fan. So just kind of followed his footsteps. Then got out of rugby a little bit when we had our shaky stuff. I think at the latter stages of the Super Rugby, I just kind of fell out of it a bit. Found different passions and those type of things. But then for some reason, something just like bit me in the arse. And I was like, I'm enjoying my rugby again, just watching all of it. So I was always that, when the passion came back, I was always that loud guy in the pub that was like screaming at the TV. And like my friends and stuff would just like, well, why don't you just film yourself while you do it, see what you can do, like, because they found it kind of a bit infectious, if you could say it like that, just being yourself, speaking wild stuff, not being filtered when it comes down to the rugby stuff. It's just like, yeah, well, fuck it, let's just put it on camera. And that's kind of how the journey started of Casual Bias Rugby, and then I obviously met you through that, and we started Safas Unscripted, and then dragged you into that as well. So yeah, that's kind of how the rugby journey just started, being a fan. It wasn't someone that was like good at rugby when I was younger. I didn't even play rugby at high school, but that was due to injuries and stuff. But yeah, so it's purely all just being a fan. And then I used to play a bit of games with a couple of rugby players. I can't mention their names or anything. Those lacquer guys, you realize those people are also just people just trying to live a life, playing the sport that they love. And then you get a different understanding of the game. You hear the inside scoops that they give you and those type of things. And I was just like, I love it. From there, never looked back, obviously, and now we're here. How about yourself?
That's great. So, from my understanding, you didn't play much rugby at school.
Primary school.
But
I played until the end of primary school.
Okay, but it was more of a feeling and a passion for you.
Yeah. Purely just watching the game. Remember, like for us as South Africans, when it boils down to rugby, there's a lot of emotional involvement in it. And I love that. I love the fact that we got so emotional about something. And as you know, when we win a World Cup or when we beat the All Blacks or something like that, you can't describe the feeling that goes into it. You feel like you're part of that victory and stuff. So I just kind of embraced that all the way through. Yeah.
No, that's lekker. So, bit of my story, probably a bit different to yours. Mine was purely playing rugby based. So my initial love for rugby came from actually playing the game. So I went to a primary school here in Melkbos, and then after that I was fortunate enough to go to a big rugby high school in Polrus. And there I met some, players that the subscribers or the fans watching right now
Belleville would have beat you though.
Yeah, our E team, yeah. But so I was fortunate enough to be around people that are currently playing for the Springboks, and not only was that an amazing experience, but I learned a lot in the way I played the game as well. My head boy in matric was Ben Jason Dixon. He's got a couple caps for the Boks. Had a phenomenal season last year. And then Damien Willemse, which is casuals,
He's the best player in the world.
It's his favorite rugby player. So I learned a lot from those two individuals, also from a leadership perspective in life and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a great experience. And then from there, I just took all that knowledge and experience under my wing, and I decided that I wanted to take rugby a bit further. Went to Durban, played a bit of rugby for the Sharks in the Under-19 Currie Cup. Experience Durban club rugby, which is insane. Completely different to Cape Town club rugby. I wouldn't say that it's...
You would have enjoyed to play for that Sharks team now, though, with the names that you got there.
Yeah.
It would have been sexy.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's some...
You would have thought of me as just like this scruffy, irritating fanboy that
No, man.
can't get it.
Like you mentioned, the rugby players, they are a lot more normal than what you think, especially if you have interactions with them. Although they're these superstars and they do the work on the field and they make us proud, they're actually pretty normal in real life. So, but yeah, and then after that, COVID came around, decided to stop rugby, and then started a bit of a rugby content. So, and that's where we find ourselves today, myself and Casual.
Yeah.
Just talking a bit of shit when it comes to rugby.
Exactly. Now, I was wondering, right, even just like while I was sitting here, we speak to some people, like we did a couple of fan interactions. I hope you guys have watched those on our short form content. We've posted it on Shorts, TikTok, Instagram. You can search stuff as unscripted anyway, you'll find it, right? What do you think the difference is between like your modern day generation when they view rugby, what they're looking for in rugby, versus the older generation, what they're looking for in rugby? Because like when I speak about rugby, I'm like, where's the characters? Where's the guy to get you involved in the game? Like I purely focus on the fans just talking a bit of shit. I want press conferences to be like, I love Eddie Jones. I think he's a national treasure. Whether he's a great coach or not, that's not the point. But him getting eyes on the game, like he was fantastic at it. I don't like this boring thing where it's just like we're going to focus on the game or whatever like that. But somewhat I feel like when I speak to, let's say even my dad, he doesn't really care about the antics when it boils down to rugby, but more just winning and losing. That's all that matters again. Whereas I'm like, well, is that going to get the eyes on the game? So where do you stand in regards to that? And do you think it's a fair statement to say that there's kind of a gap between what the modern day, or like your younger fans want, your younger audience wants, and what I wouldn't say older generation, just your generation that's been viewing rugby for a bit of a longer time?
Yeah, I think the older generation their beliefs on the game was based off being super physical, mark your tackles,
Yeah.
you know, play a hard game.
They were also used to people getting doused on the field.
Yeah, I mean,
Like Manu Tuilagi, Chris, that's one of my favorite rugby moments.
yeah. If you see some clips of how like players used to ruck back in the day, like if you were in the way, you could literally take your boots and just rake the shit out of them, and that is crazy to me. Like I've seen so many highlights of that.
Bro, there's literally like DVDs of James Dalton murdering people. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I think that is good for the game. Obviously, player safety is a thing, but we always like big hits. We like big, you know, good steps and skills and that sort of thing. I think when it comes to modern day, we're looking for characters, as you said. So what Rassi's done well is he wasn't afraid to, you know, be opinionated about the game, especially when we played in 2019 the British and Irish Lions, and he brought up that the refs were, you know, not doing their job correctly, and he had that whole video analysis and that sort of stuff. And in retrospect, we can say, you know, that's not to the spirit of the game, but it added a bit of spice to the game.
Of course, it brought eyes onto it, right? So that's kind of the balance that you need to get with it, because it's like, I actually found the other games between, let's say, obviously I was only born in 2000, so let's say 2000 to 2010, there was a lot more room for error. Right, safety wasn't this big thing. Obviously, you need safety, but I kind of imagine if you had that game with the characters that you have now, like a Rico Ioane. Right, I know the Irish hate Rico Ioane for his antics and stuff, or even like us on Johnny Sexton for how he spoke to our beloved Jaco Paper. But they were so good for the game. Right now, imagine that with just like people not caring about anything. That would be elite. Right, because now there's obviously safety, there's a lot of rules and stuff, and you hear a lot of fans talking about how they're getting out of the love of the game. They're not watching it as much because they're not emotionally invested. And when you're not emotionally invested in the game, then it's like, well, I'm just watching a whistle being blown for 80 minutes on the smallest type of things. Like you look at that game, I think it was against Samoa that we played in the 2007 World Cup. You've seen clips of this on Rugby Pass and Ball Carrier and whatever, right? Of guys just getting smoked, shoulder to the head, whatever. As a guy that used to do a bit of MMA, I love it. I think we need more of it. Obviously, with safety precautions.
Yeah,
right?
and now we've got Run It Straight as well. Our New Zealand brothers have brought that into the equation.
Yeah, I'm not for it. I think that's a bit dumb.
I think it is dumb. You know, I don't think you can do it for. It's similar to that power slap shit. You see that shit? They just
power
smack
slap
the
either.
shit out of it. I think South Africa. I know there is some federation for power slap in South Africa, but they need to make one called like PK, the PK championships or something.
Yes, yeah.
There's some big Buddha in this country that'll smack the shit out of you.
Just give them a glass of brandy and they'll do it, bro. I'm not even joking.
I would pay to watch that, to be honest. But you gotta like drink a couple brandies before.
Yeah.
And then you gotta do it.
It numbs the pain.
It numbs the pain. It also makes you feel
I saw
bad.
a video the other day of like the most interesting name to give a brandy. And I actually saw it from Robbie Gillette. I saw it from one of his shorts, and one guy called it a Brian Brandy.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I really laughed. That was good. That was really good. But anyway, I wanna hear from you, right? So if we have a discussion regarding the best South African 15, let's say from the year 2007, 2005, kind of that we were both in this world, right?
Yeah, so basically the first World Cup we were alive that we saw we won until basically the last one.
Yeah. So I know like a Francois Pienaar was great, right? Or Chester Williams and those type of guys, right? I haven't seen them. I wasn't born, right? So I'm not going to go that far back and watch that. And it was a totally different game. You can more kind of get a balance between the games of 2007 and 2025. So let's do a combined 15 on this one.
Okay, so
We're going as our front row. 1, 2, 3. I'll give you the start. You can give me a 1, 2, 3. But we have to agree, so you can fight your position.
I'm starting. Oosterrand definitely has to be in there.
I've got Osterrand
doubt.
as one. Yeah.
Hooker gets tricky. We've obviously got, in 2007, we had John Smith, who took us to our second World Cup ever. Great captain, also could play prop, so he was versatile. But I don't think I'd have him in there.
No.
And then I'm sitting with two options. So you've either got a Malcolm Marx or Bismarck du Plessis. Those are my two options.
Yeah, John Smith wasn't even the best in his era. It was Bismarck.
So you're going for Bismarck?
No, I'm going with Malcolm Marx.
Interesting.
I've done a video on this before. I think he is one of the top forwards of all time already. I know he balances his minutes with Bongi Manambi, but if you look at what he offers, the way that he carries the ball, the way that he gets over the ball at the breakdown, doesn't miss tackles, played at the Lions as a standout player, kind of. He's part of this team that took the Springboks from the team that lost to, was it Italy that we lost to the team that we are now, double World Cup champions. We wouldn't have been able to do that without a Malcolm Marx, right? He's been fire for us. So Malcolm goes in there. All love to Bismarck. I absolutely love Bismarck. So moving on to the number 3. And if you don't say Frans Malherbe, you are dumb.
Well, there's a few options, and I'm sure some of the people that are watching this might have a few different names in their mind.
Yeah.
You got your CJ van der Linders, you got your Yanni du Plessis,
Trevor Nyakane.
Trevor. But
that was iconic. If you think about 2023, him and Damian Willems are just not taking a shower for like 12 days straight.
Yeah, Trevor had the dance moves and the tongue. Do the tongue?
No.
But it's France. Definitely underrated.
Yeah, that's a good segue. We'll speak about a couple of underrated players in our generation that doesn't always get the flowers and love that they deserve. Locks, is this pretty simple? Do we say Jebben and Victor?
It's tough because you got some. I mean, South Africa has produced some amazing locks.
Jebben and Bakkies.
You got Bakkies.
Oh, we saw it in the comment section. You have to give Bakkie some love. Bakkie, I mean, he was our greatest quarterback.
Greatest quarterback, scored the most touchdowns.
Yeah, prime sister.
But I think it's got to be Jebben and Victor. I mean, if you look at leadership, they both lead the team as well. Even though Bakkies was such a menace on the field and probably go down as one of the hardest motherfuckers to play the game.
I just like it. I've always said argy bargy. Give me Jebben and Bakkies. I'm going Jebben and Bakkies.
And you're leaving Matfield out.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to fight you for this. Okay, so Jebben is a given. We both on Jebben.
Yeah.
Now it's Bakkies and Matfield.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Are we going on shoot?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors.
Shoot. There you go, Bakkies. Give me Bakkies all day. The enforcer first. There you go. Boom. I'll take Bakkies all day long. I think he's one of the most underrated players as well. Like, Victor was sensational. I'm not going to take anything away from Victor. But he's mostly known for, like, his lineouts.
But now we've got 2 enforcers on the field.
The more the merrier. Because in 6, I'm going Skalkberger. There you go. I'll poke out your eyes. There you go. Easy.
Yeah.
Like, Sia's obviously up there as well, right? But we've spoke about this before.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, he's prime.
Underrated as well.
Yeah. But he's not Skalkberger level. No one's Skalkberger level.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is,
Fair.
Sia obviously has a great shout, right? He kind of epitomizes. I spoke about it with Malcolm Marx, but he epitomizes the change in Springbok rugby, and you can see the influence that he has in terms of the leadership that he brings to the group and those type of things. But we all can say, in terms of what they bring on the field, if I had to choose a captain now, probably you can bring in Sia there. But we're not choosing a captain. I'm just saying Skalkberger did everything, absolute monster. He was like probably the most famous guy in South Africa while he was still playing. So.
And World Rugby Player of the Year as well.
Yeah, of course.
7.
Easy,
but let's just give a little shout out to Johan Smith.
Oh, dude, he was in my segue. for most underrated players because they're the exact same player.
Yeah, but it's Peter Steph the toy.
Yeah,
I mean,
Peter
also
Steph.
Rugby Player of the Year, so
Yeah.
it's got to be him, and then 8. Few options here.
There's 3 in my mind.
PSPs.
PSPs, yes.
Obviously, your Dwayne Vermeulen.
Of course.
Who's your third?
Donny Rousseau. He was good.
Donny can go have a brandy outside. Great player, but I think in terms of, this World...
Donny can join us for the pod discussing who's the best 8 that's played for the Springboks.
Yeah, Donny looks like a retired bouncer.
Don't be horrible to Donny. Donny Rousseau was amazing.
Yeah, Donny was good. But yeah, okay, so it's between PSPs and Dwayne Vermeulen.
Yeah, I'd rather play Pierre Spies on the wing than I'd have Dwayne Vermeulen all day long.
Did you ever play the 2011 rugby game?
What? Oh, yeah.
I used to put PSPs on the wing.
Oh, really?
all the
But
time.
then he had like that red triangle there.
He was gas.
No, he was good. He was proper. He actually played a couple of games for the Bulls on wing, right? Now, Pierre Spies was sensational, obviously, a freak of nature. If you look at the way that he's built, it's probably the best built rugby player that we've ever seen. But it has to be Dwayne.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much of it. We can all love Pierre. He was sensational. But it is Dwayne. And I think that would be anonymous.
Yeah, I think Dwayne's the epitome of a world-class 8. Even though PSPs was this genetic freak, Dwayne provided such a variety in the way he could play. I mean, I remember that sunny ball that he gave to Farid Dupriya against Wales.
Yeah, one of our big moments.
Yeah, that was crazy. Speaking of Farid Dupriya, there's no other scrum half that's taking his spot, and I don't care what you're going to say right now. Farid Dupriya is the scrum half in this team.
Well, I think most people, the discussion would more be between Farid Dupriya and Joost van der Westhuizen.
Yeah,
right? Because
obviously
he
he's
was
95,
the... Yeah. So that's just before the time that we actually analysing it. I can't say too much about Joost, but I mean, you ask anyone above 35, they will say it's Joost van der Westhuizen.
Yeah.
So I won't take anything away from that. Obviously, within our time frame, Farid Dupriya. He was brilliant. He was brilliant. Like, oh my word.
10?
It was between 2 guys.
2 ex-Bulls players.
One current Bulls player.
It's got to be Polly, eh?
Polly or Mordenstein. I think Mordenstein is also up there with the underrated guys. But he didn't really attack the gain line like Paulie did, especially in his younger days. Mordenstein's got obviously one of the guys that's like a hero to the nation. If you look at it on debut, I think it was against the British and Irish Lions, hitting a 50-meter one. There you go. I mean, he was trusted with a boot, but obviously Polly is also trusted with a boot. I'm going Polly.
Yeah, it's definitely Polly.
Wow, the people are going to think we are very modern day bias at the moment.
I mean, if you look at it, we spoke about it before. What he did for us in that 2023 Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
3 games in a row, we won by 1 point. And generally speaking, Pollard had a massive role to play in those games in terms of his
He
kicking
was the deciding
capabilities.
factor in the end, right? Like without him, we wouldn't have won that.
Yeah, so it's got to be Polly. I think we go to the centers and then we do the wings, the back 3.
Oh, people are going to disagree. I think we can agree on 13 though.
Jock Free.
Yeah. I love Jesse, but there was a solid period that we said Lukaniam's better. And to be fair, Lukaniam was better. There was a solid period that we, not even while Lukaniam was there, that we just didn't want Jesse. Obviously, he's picked up his game sensationally. He is world class at the moment. Probably him, Gary Ringrose, Hugh Jones, those 3 are kind of like the standout outside centres for me at the moment. But Jock Free was just unstoppable. He was untouchable in that Springbok setup. So we both agree on that one?
Yeah, I agree.
Who are you going at 12?
Okay, let's have a look at our options quick. Okay, so we've got modern Damien Dialindi. We've got old Jean de Villiers.
Yeah, that's the only 2. There's no other discussion. Adrian Jacobs. He was good for a while, to be fair.
He coached me. at Union
Yeah,
Rugby
well,
Club.
if you mention him, we're gonna know it's fucking biased.
No. I'm not going to mention him. He was sensational. I think he would be quite a good add-on to our bomb squad in terms of a backline player to come on, because he was quite shifty as well.
Oh yeah, you could move.
But for me, and you're probably going to disagree, I'm going Jean de Villiers.
No, I disagree.
Or we're going to have to rock, paper, scissors again.
Wait, let's just hear the debate first, so that the people in the comments can decide, the same as we did with the previous one, right? Linde, right, is in this. I think if you take out Nonu, Linde is the best centre this world has seen.
I think you're forgetting about what Jean de Villiers has done in the Springbok jersey.
No, I'm not taking away from John at all. I'm
He's
just
captained
giving.
this side multiple times. He was the intercept king. He was intercepting rugby balls when you were doing wiskunde huiswerk. Okay.
Yeah, just because he's older. I don't care. Damian Linde is a freak. You take out... Who was John de Villiers' competition?
Nonu.
No. For the Springbok jersey.
That is irrelevant.
No. What I'm saying is... So, a bunch of people would probably say Andre Esterhuizen is up there with some of the best centres in the world. He doesn't get a sniff in that Springbok jersey. You see the effect that it has when you leave out Damian Linde. Every time gets over the game line, right? Yes, maybe his distribution isn't the best, right? I can agree, right, to some extent. But don't you think that forms part of the game plan? Ricey tells him, take it up, right? Absolutely brilliant. He's a monster, doesn't miss tackles. He's a fetcher over the ball. Workhorse, gets there everywhere. I think he's... I don't want to say this again, but he's one of the world underrated players. Doesn't always get his flowers, but goodness gracious, to keep a guy like Andre Esterhuizen out of the position for years, no one else getting a sniff because he's just that good and that influent. Think about 2019 World Cup. We just spoke about Fourie de Pria and Dwayne Vermeulen. We should have probably lost that game against Wales. Damian Linde breaks through about 5 guys to score that try.
I actually don't care what you're saying right now. It's Jean de
That's
Villiers.
horrible. That's rude.
Let us know who you would go with, Jean de Villiers or Damien
let's rock,
Linde.
paper,
But right,
scissors for it.
no rock paper scissors. I gave you buckies, so you can give me
I'm not giving you any fucking charity.
rock paper scissors shoot. Thank you, Jean. It is okay. So we got Jean, Jock Fourie.
Rock, paper, scissors is stupid anyway.
They were sent a combo
Rock, paper,
anyways.
scissors is stupid anyway. If you ever decide to rock, paper, scissors on a debate, it's stupid.
Oh, fair. Wings. I think we're both going to agree to this. We've had some amazing wings, right?
Brian and Brandy.
Brian and Brandy and Ches
On the
and
left.
Coffee. Brian and Brandy and Ches and Coffee.
Yeah.
Those are the two on my mind. Obviously, lots of nominations here in this position. We produce wings like it's fucking wheat pigs.
Yeah.
But those are the two that come to mind.
Easily. Yeah, I agree.
Fullback.
Zane Kirshner.
Man, you can't do that.
Percy Montgomery or Villy? Are we giving a love to our modern day guy that just reached 100 caps? Percy Montgomery is also one of the top try scorers for us. Or he's got the highest, like...
Points.
No, scoring rates, like strike rate.
From
Percentage-wise.
fullback. Yeah, we must remember that defensive setups are a lot different. Defensive lines have become a lot more structured over the years. So for Villy to score tries, he's the assist king. We know that. Reached 100 tests. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to side with Villy. I think Villy... But I won't say that Villy is the best fullback the Springboks have ever had. But based off of the years that we're working with...
Damien Willemse.
No, it's not Damien Willemse. It's the guy that you don't know his name. The Rolls-Royce Andre Hubert. Everyone in the comments over 40 years old are going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Played with a broken hand in the
Well,
World
then the
Cup
best
final.
13 that we've ever produced is probably Donny Gerber.
Yes, that is true. That is true. But let's
With
stick
his
within
12
the
caps.
parameters here. But yeah, it's Villy Leroux. As whether you hate him or you love him, he's done so much for the Boks. Top assister the Boks have ever had. Kom klap my gesig. Let's just talk about this quickly. We did a segment on
Wat
Willie
sê jy,
LaRue.
Soutpil?
We did a segment on Willie LaRue, and I said that there's a certain age bracket of people and demographic that don't like him, and I think a lot of it comes down to the way he looks, because he has a kom klap my gesig, which translates to he has a come smack me face. In the comments, and I'll put the comment up right here, some guy came back and said,
Soutpil, wat sê jy? Klaar geklap gesig, which means you Englishman, you've already got a smacked up face.
yeah, so he just proved my point because he's probably part of that bracket that I mentioned. But yeah, I think that's our 15 from 2007 till the current.
Well, I didn't, but I agree, yes.
You agree.
We've already got a goal kicker in Handré Pollard.
In Handré Pollard. I think we've covered it well. Let us know.
We've got dangerous finishers. We need an assist king.
True. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, who you think we left out, who you would put in, that sort of stuff. And yeah, let's just have a little debate in the comments as well.
Well, we spoke about a couple of underrated players, right? We mentioned, oh my goodness. Let's go. Dani Rousseau. But I wouldn't really put him as that underrated because we've had, like modern day, Franco Mostert. Do you see a lot of guys giving Franco Mostert his flowers? Right, he is brilliant. Right, we lost Lorie Jager for 2-3 years. I kind of almost forgot about Lorie. That's how good Franco Mostert has been. He's been sensational. Damien Dialinde, you twat. Right, you didn't give Damien his love. Damien Dialinde has to get his love.
True.
He's up there.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Emrys Papier.
Yes, underrated because he doesn't play for the Boks, but he should be playing for the Boks. I mean, this guy's been unreal for the past 3 years. 3 years, and he doesn't get a shout. I don't know why.
I got another one. And it's interesting because back then, I would say about 10, 15 years ago, it was always the thought that a South African rugby player needed to be of size, needed to be big enough to handle the physical aspects of the game.
The originator of the scrum cap mafia.
Gio Aplon.
Yes.
Super underrated. I saw a couple interviews with New Zealand rugby players that were playing in the Super Rugby that said one of the players that they're most scared to play in terms of like X factor, Gio Aplon.
Yes.
And that sort of transcended into Cheslin Colby's career, where he was always doubted because of his size, because, you know, he was smaller than normal, and there was talks about him having to move to scrum off to ever play for the Boks. And
remember, even Chesy came into the setup pretty late.
Yeah.
Right? It's a recent mindset switch that people got surrounding the size of the players. Because Brian Habana was big. JP Peterson, underrated player. There you go. Brilliant partner to Brian Habana. Big guy. But they've kind of shifted the mold into the scrum cap mafia, and now we're looking at one of the best wing pairings to ever do it, like Kurtley Arendse, unreal. Edwin van der Merwe, how he doesn't play for the Boks is just purely because we've got two of the best to ever do it in Kurtley Arendse and Cheslin Colby. But yes, Gio Aplon, I fully agree.
Do you remember Andries Becker?
Of course.
Also a bit underrated.
Yeah. It's kind of, Andries Becker reminds me now of the same setup as I just mentioned with Edwin van der Merwe, where he's like, or Kanan Moody even, where it's like the clear third best. So you've got two clear ones above him, but it just unfortunately can't get into it unless there's like a big injury. But Andries Becker, phenomenal player.
Any
kind
underrated,
before Luit.
Any underrated players that you can think of that haven't got a cap for the Boks?
Emrys Papier. Oh, well, Emrys Papier has played for the Boks before.
Someone that you think, hasn't got a chance in the Boks. They deserve it. Maybe someone that's not new, someone that's been playing for a while. I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Oh, very.
But is there anyone that you can think of? If not, it's fine.
Not on the spot at the moment. I think we've always done well in terms of giving form guys their chances.
Especially of recent. I mean, Rassie used how many players last year? I think it was in the late 50s.
Did Watson play?
Luke Watson, I'm pretty sure Luke Watson got a cap.
Because I remember watching him for the Peter Grant.
Ooh, I'm not too sure.
Peter Grant was good.
Peter
Trusted,
Grant was
reliable,
good.
Yeah, very good boot. I'm going Peter Grant. I can't remember if he played for the Springboks.
Rory Cockett?
Yes, up there as well, but he fought against Fourie de Pre.
Do you remember Charles McLeod?
No.
You don't remember Charles McLeod?
No.
Used to play for the Sharks, had like long hair, similar
Of course,
to
you're
Percy Montgomery.
just mentioning Sharks players because he played there.
Klap jou sommer.
We will see you next time. George.
No, your beer's empty. Go Bokke!
Go Bokke!